what's your game plan? Like, what pathing are you doing and why?
Um, Shoot, I kind of just remember my pathing, but I guess my disclaimer is I'm duoed with my support.
Okay.
So, um, I mean, my main plan is honestly that I know that in my mind that Kaisa Lux is probably. I mean, I don't know if they win against Kate Bard, but I don't really see too much like setup there.
I mean, the only
So,
setup is Lux, right?
hmm?
The only setup is Lux, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was thinking. I think what I did this game was I just figured. I know that Kane top is kind of like super obnoxious, so I just figured they're picking kind of a troll top laner, so maybe I'll just go up there and help them out.
You mean Kane? Okay, no, I haven't seen
Or
his
like their top laner Nautilus is kind of troll, so if I could like get Kane ahead, then he could probably win me the game. Maybe.
Let me think. Possibly, yeah, possibly. Okay, let me think. Sorry, I'm thinking what you're thinking. I haven't actually had a thought yet. Yeah, I like it. I like it for another reason. I'm going to tell you that other reason. Is that I believe. Let me see. It's kind of close, but I think Caitlyn Bard pushes in Kaisa Lux. Yeah, I think so. Depends. It's close. It's close. Um, but just because of that, I think it might as well go for the top one. Top also you have Ignite. Um,
Yeah, I was just unsure about that bot lane
yeah, no,
because
yeah. I'm not super confident either. But I think Caitlyn Bard is better, like at least push wise.
yeah, my
I think so.
duo. He's my duo, so sometimes.
Oh, yeah, Kane's your duo, right?
No, sorry, no. The
Oh,
Bard.
Bard's your duo. Bard's your duo.
But
So
what I mean is, he plays Bard and Alistar. So, like, if he had picked Alistar this game, then I would have pathed from top to bot.
yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Pretty solid plan. So are you what kind? Okay, so you're pathing top. What kind of path are you planning here? Just like red Cooks Raptors?
Yeah, me personally, my thing nowadays is almost always on the red side. If I start red, then I'll do all three camps.
Yep.
Blue side, not so clear, but I still try to do all three. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like 80-90% of the time it's good. Yeah.
And then I normally try to look mid at level 3, or like I'll do the third camp that's like in the middle, and I'll look really heavily at mid because I know this is like my time before I do the other side.
Yeah. Okay.
And then if I don't see anything, then I'll just go to the other side.
Okay.
And like
And you know Jarvan, but Jarvan is a little different. Is that at level 2 you can also do that process, right? Of like actually,
Yeah.
like, if you see something.
do you think? So one thing about that is like I did that when I was like lower, like when I was in like gold and stuff.
Yeah.
And I found it's like it works really well, but then I just feel like whenever I watch like high elo, even on Jarvan, they always full clear. So I just figured it must be. I don't like know exactly why, but
Because high elo people not like players in general, so like laners as well. They kind of know Jarvan can cheat. We call these like cheesy ganks, level 2 ganking like that. All the way up to pro play, like they know what Jarvan can do, so they often use their wards early. So if you're warded out, obviously you just wasted your time, and the jungler knows your path, your path and everything, right? It gets kind of bad. So there are some strategies where it works. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I don't suggest it in this game, but let me think. Okay, level Bard. What does Bard get level 1? Usually Q, right? I think Q. Bot.
he probably levels it up really fast. Let me just check. He actually doesn't. That's funny.
I think some of them do the heal if it's a bad lane, but I think usually it's Q. Yeah, I think a long time ago he gave like heals to the jungler, like a really long time ago.
Yeah.
I think it's usually Q. So I mean, if Bart gets Q, or if you communicate with him that he gets Q, you could do like a level 2 gank bot. Level 2 gank bot is not bad.
So part of the reason why I started just doing the 3 is because it's like really I start to like. I feel like I start to lose the pattern of what to do afterwards.
After what?
Because like, I let's say I gank bot and nothing happens, right?
Yeah, you mean level 2? You mean level 2?
Yeah, level 2. Like,
Yeah.
let's say I gank bot level 2, and I burn some sums, but I have to back because I have nothing to do. And doesn't it seem like kind of awkward because like these 2 camps are going to be up, and then I can't go back to this side because like I need to probably do these camps to protect them.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you lost tempo by doing your bot gank, right? Because because and the enemy jungler saw you do that too, so the enemy jungler knows where you are. You probably know where he is too, because if you know how to track where they started, right? You just look at who leached usually.
I kind of have trouble with it sometimes though. Like, kind of lose track of it sometimes.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely something you need to do. But the problem with Bel'Veth or like some junglers is they can do like Raptors leashless. That's a pretty popular start. So, but if if you don't see where they leash, that's a pretty good assumption to make. Like, oh, she probably started Raptors leashless. Like that.
Okay.
So even if she starts Raptors leashless, you can actually kind of predict that. You'll never be with 100% accuracy, right? You're just predicting or guessing. But you really need to work. That's something you really need to work on. It's pretty easy, right? You just need to practice it. Like while you're doing your red buff, you just you look, because while you're doing red buff, she's doing Bel'Veth's doing one of her buffs or maybe Raptors, right? And then you just look like where are the laners, where's top lane, where's bot lane. Try to guess where she started basically. And when you know that, okay, so again, go back to the original question, was the level 2 gank bot, right? You don't really know what to do. That's kind of the risk of the level 2 gank bot. Is once you make that gank, you're down on tempo because you ganked, whether you get the kill or not, you're down on tempo because you chose to gank rather than farm. While the other jungler is probably farming, so the other jungler will have more camps on you, and the other jungler will know your exact path because, like, let's say you do red buff and you gank bot. The enemy jungler sees you have red buff. They see you have 4 CS. They know exactly what you did. You did one camp, you ganked, and then if you're low, they can assume you're gonna recall. If you're not low, they have to guess: are you gonna recall or are you gonna do Krugs after? Things like that. They have the advantage on you that they know what you're gonna do next. You don't really know what they're doing. You might know if you like I said, you tracked where she started, right, level 1. But either way, even if you know where she is and she knows where you are, she has the tempo advantage, right? She has more time to do other things. She's been farming camps. You chose to do the gank, so that's probably why you feel kind of lost, like you don't know what to do, because that's the cost you paid. There's a cost. You can't just gank for free. But I'm saying, But imagine you gank. You get their sums, maybe you even get a kill. Like a lot of times you can get a kill. Then the tempo advantage will be, in many cases, it can be worth it. It can be worth it. You're playing a more higher risk game, higher risk, higher reward kind of game. So, but you have to assess. You have to assess if it's worth it. Obviously, it's not going to be worth it every game. I think most games it's not worth it. So I'm just asking you, what do you call it? You need to know when it is good though. Like if you just play like a standard game, like a standard game is generally, I know you're platinum. I'm talking like silver. Okay, I'm talking about for silver players. Their standard game is pretty much like start bot side, full clear top, see what happens, right? And that works fine. But as you get higher and higher, you need to add other strategies, other paths into your arsenal, if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, full clear is really good on Jarvan because in some cases, I think I usually would prefer going for a gank on Jarvan, but his full clear is actually pretty good if I remember. Like you can do it before the crowd spawns, and yeah, it's fine. It's fine. The advantage of the full clear is that it's fine, and Jarvan scales fine. Like so, he's not. You're not really losing anything by not ganking, right? Like you shouldn't be thinking I'm playing Jarvan, I have to gank. You shouldn't think like that.
I don't think like that, but I'm kind of like a degenerate. So like season 7 was like the first season I hit 5, and I also hit it on Jarvan, but that was like one of the degenerate, super lame farm metas. So that's kind of what's been.
I don't actually. It's just so long ago, 6 years ago. I don't remember the metas.
I don't remember anything, but I just do remember it was like a degenerate farm. Whatever, so that's all I did.
Yeah, well, I mean, the jungle's definitely different now. This season, I believe it was this season they added the pets, so that like changed a lot. But what were we talking about? Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, I guess my question for that is like, sometimes I play Jarvan a lot, right? And sometimes when I'm against these farm junglers, I hear like different varying degrees of advice.
Okay.
Like I watch a lot of high elo players, and when I watch them face like a Velveth or a Hecarim or something, or like a Karthus, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes some junglers will say like, "Oh, I need to," or like some high elo players will say stuff like, "Oh, I need to farm to make sure I'm matching their clear, right? Because I don't want to fall behind in camps, right?"
No, I think I know what you're gonna say. So let me cut you off there. So the thing is, I think what you're hearing is probably mostly right. Like all of them are probably right, if that makes sense. So it really depends on the game. It depends on the game. So some games it might be right to farm, and some games it might be right to gank, and some games you're gonna want to look for invading. Jarvan's pretty good at invading as well. So it really depends on the game. So this game. Yeah, I did make the mistake of thinking you should gank. Should you even gank this game? Well, I think a bot gank's worth it for you in this game. Or early bot gank, level 2, maybe 3. You should look at it. I'm not saying you have to do a bot gank in this game, but I think a level 2 gank is kind of worth it. Because Kai'Sa Lux, especially when they're level 1, it really depends if Lux gets Q or E. But even if she gets Q, her Q doesn't matter that much, I would say. You can still hit your EQ through her Q. Maybe if she hits Q on like Bard or Caitlyn, that could be annoying. But if you get a level 2 gank off bot, your bot lane is like set for the rest of the early game. Did that make sense? They're just set, right? Like it just. You can. I'll give you an example. How do you do it? Let me tell you how you. Well, you understand, right? If you actually do your gank level 2 and it goes off, you can see why that's like a big play for your bot lane, not for you particularly. Like you're gonna lose tempo, like I said, right?
But I could see how Caitlyn with her range, she's probably if the lane was even and Lux hits a Q, then it's really really bad, right?
What do you mean if the lane was even? You mean if
level 3 or 4 or something. But
that's we're talking. That's later in the game, right? We're talking. Okay. Well, I'm just talking right now about your level 2 gank. So when you a red buff into bot lane or red buff Krugs into bot lane gank, I'm saying if you get that off, that's really huge, right? And it's pretty good chance that you could get that off because what did they do level 1? Not much. If Bard gets Q level 1, that's a lot, right? With your EQ red buff, right?
Sorry, is there a question?
Oh yeah. I'm saying you see why a level 2 gank could be quite deadly in the bot lane because your EQ ignores Lux's Q. If Bard gets Q, that also combines, right? Bard has Ignite as well, so there's a good chance it works out. If you I'm saying as long as they're not playing super passive, right? It depends where they are in the lane, but they'll be level 1. Your bot lane will be level 1 too, but you'll be level 2. Jarvan level. This is why Jarvan. It's so common for Jarvan to do these ganks because it's his level 2 gank with a red buff is so strong, right? Jarvan only needs level 2 to become his full kit, right? The W doesn't do anything. So I'm saying.
Well, my question for that, right, is what is your what's your threshold for if I should be happy with what happens bot lane?
Oh, okay.
Let's say I burn double flash, but nothing else, and they're not even low. They just double flash my EQ, and they're just I'd
say that's worth, but barely. I'd say barely, but I'd say that's worth.
So your threshold for that would be if you would do it if you burn double flash.
Yeah.
You'd be kind of unhappy more than that.
And then I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, say that again.
I was just saying, is that your threshold? Double flash burn is something you would consider you would do this in most games then?
Yes, but and then I'm going to add more information after. But yes. Do you have any other questions about this yet, though?
No, I'm just curious.
Okay, and then I'll add you other information on when to do this or when to not do this. The only well, not the only, but I would only really do this if you ward either the Tri Brush or the Bot River. You see those bushes? You can ward one of these early game.
To know if they ward it.
Yeah, to know if they ward it. Yeah, because if you go there, it's warded. That's just such a waste of time. So I would only do it if there's a reasonable chance that it's not warded. So if you're able to, so usually you ward the river bush if you can. If you have your teammates, you see guarding your red ramp, the Raptors ramp, the Raptors, the Raptor. Yeah, if someone's guarding this ramp, then all you need is a ward on the river bush, and then you know if the enemy has invaded you, right? Basically.
Yeah.
So all you need is ideally you put a ward in the river bush, but sometimes when you go there, the enemy will also be there, or like they have a high threat comp. Like this game, they don't. They kind of do actually. But like if they have like Blitzcrank, then you might not want to go that far. Then you can throw one on your Charbrush. So it actually serves two purposes in those cases. It defends you against their invade, right? If they have a Blitzcrank, they're trying to invade you. Your ward defends you, but not only defends you, it gives you the option to be aggressive, right? Because like you said, it lets you know if they warded it. It's the purpose is you're trying to do a level 2 gank. So I would only consider those kind of ganks if you. It doesn't have to be you. Sometimes your teammates will throw their wards, bot lane. So if you have any way to know or reasonably guess that bot lane is not warded, then I would consider the level 2 gank. In addition to what I said, it was that you have a high chance of killing them because Kai'Sa, Lux don't have any dashes. Lux has possibly her Q, which you don't really care about. You can ignore her Q in most cases. And then you as Jarvan are pretty strong with your EQ and red buff. That makes sense?
Mm.
Yeah. And then, okay, so that's the criteria for even considering ganking bot. Then go back to one of your older questions was, is it even worth it? Is it even worth it? So I say if you get 2 flashes, it's worth it because that pretty much at the very least that makes your bot lane be able to play super aggressively and not really care about ganks or anything because flash can be used aggressively and defensively, right? So if Bel'Veth ganks bot, like Lux can flash Q and things like that. But if they don't have flash, your bot lane can play pretty comfortably. And not only that, you're gonna revisit bot lane after your full clear, or you're gonna do. You have 2 options after you. Let's say you fail to kill Kai'Sa Lux. You have 2 options. One option is you clear Krugs and you clear up. The other option is you recall and you go to blue buff. But either way, you're gonna revisit bot lane before their flash is back up. Flash is 5 minutes. That's a long time. So you have a really good chance because remember it's Kai'Sa and Lux, and then think about it: Kai'Sa and Lux with no flash versus Jarvan. That's really easy kills for Jarvan. So that's why I say if you get 2 flashes, good enough. If Kai'Sa Lux loses their flashes, right, that's still good because I said you're gonna revisit them anyways. On your second clear usually. It depends on the lane. It depends how how it plays out, how much health they have, and how the lane plays out later. You could even visit them before your full clear. You could, recall, go do blue buff or something. There's a chance that Bel'Veth already took your blue buff technically because if Bel'Veth started red or something like that, she has enough time to actually take your blue buff. So it's not even the end of the world. Honestly, it's who cares? You just take your Gromp, you take your Wolves, and then you go gank bot again because they don't have flash. You see the plan that losing. Yes, it sucks that you're losing these camps or you're not fully farming, but you're influencing bot a lot. And this game is one where that's not a bad option, I would say, just because Kai'Sa Lux, with flash, they can avoid your pre-6 ganks. Think about it. Once you're level 6, you just keep ganking bot with your ult. The only way they escape your ult, Kai'Sa with her ult, she actually can escape it, but Lux, then at least Lux, the only way Lux escapes your ult is by flash, right? So you can pretty much kill them on repeat, like that. This is just one example. Not every game you do this. It's good in the League is what do you call it? It depends on the champions in the game, right? So this game, it's not a bad plan, I would say. Yeah. That makes sense. And then, like I said, I told you, you might lose your blue buff. You might even lose your Grump. I'm saying that's the price you pay. You're kind of playing because you're playing for bot lane in this case, and you're playing for them really hard in this case. But it's not blind. You're not blindly gambling because, like I said, you're warding level 1. to make sure that it's not warded. And you're only going there if they're like semi-aggressive, like they're at least in the middle. Like sometimes they play really passively at level 1 because they're respecting that Jarvan can level 2 gank them. Some players do that. So if you notice that, that's fine. Just do your plan then. You like to do red Krugs Raptors or red Raptors Krugs. Just do that. You can pivot your plan. But I'm saying have an open mind. So sometimes you can do this level 2 gank. Sometimes it's kind of like you're kind of skill checking your opponent. You're saying, are you respecting my level 2 gank? Are you warding? That's why I asked you to ward, because you're checking if they ward. So you're skill checking them. You're saying, are you warding against my level 2 gank? The answer is no. Okay, and then the second skill check. Are you playing passively level 1 because you need to respect my level 2 Jarvan gank? And if the answer is no again, you check them twice, they fail the test, you go kill them, or burn their flash. I don't really think you can kill them. You might. That's a micro test, right? Between you, Caitlyn Bard versus Kaisala. It's micro. In that case, it's micro. But there's a good chance you can kill them. I would say. But
that makes sense though.
Yeah,
I think that's a good way to put it. Like the skill check to like actually make sure they're doing it.
Yeah. And that happens all throughout like the game. So like what do you call it? Yeah, you skill check them, but if they pass, then you say, okay, fair enough, friends. I'm gonna full clear and go top. That makes sense like that. Yeah. Okay, but your plan was to go top, right? You're gonna start bot and go top. Jungling is like not always. You don't just have one rigid like plan. You're flexible. So like I said, you could have the gank bot plan, and then the second plan is to gank top, and both could work, right? You could do both. Like I said, you skill check them. If they pass the test, you just keep going top. Okay. Another possibility is you skill check them and they fail the test, so you gank bot, right? And whatever the outcome, you kill them or you get their flash. It doesn't really matter. Either way, after that, you're going top, right? So you can still fulfill your plan of going top. The only problem is obviously that you're down on camps. So you kind of have to play it. It depends on what Bel'Veth does. Like, does she invade you or things like that? That'll be another topic once we see the game, right? It depends on the game and things like that. And things like if Sylas has prio, that matters too, because then Sylas and Bel'Veth could just take over your entire blue side. Things like that. But I mean that's why the game is, especially for jungle, is so dynamic. It really depends on the game. But I'm just giving you a general plan right now for the game hasn't started. That's kind of how I would be thinking as the Jarvan. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then you said
definitely. Sorry.
No. Go on. Sorry. Go on.
I said I definitely looked bot here, and then I kind of I didn't give it like a real earnest look, but I did look. If I remember, it was just kind of in the middle of the lane, so I didn't really see too much there.
Okay. Well, when did you look? Do you know?
I think somewhere in the middle of the first wave. Maybe the first wave was like half dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, as long as you're looking, because that's one of Jarvan's biggest strengths is he can look on every single camp. He can look at every lane on every single camps. Like he's not bound to any real path. Like he could do red, gank bot, gank mid. He could do red Krugs, gank bot, gank mid. He could do red Krugs Raptor. You know what I'm saying? Like every single camp, he can do anything he wants, including invading. Like he's so flexible. As long as you have your E on off cooldown, right? But yeah. So that's kind of what makes Jarvan like so good. That
okay,
he can do anything.
Consider that.
Yeah, he can do anything. He has
in my camps.
Yeah. He can do anything, and then including right. And the thing is, what's so crazy about Jarvan is including full clearing. Like a lot of ganking junglers, if they full clear, they kind of lose. But Jarvan's not like that. Like Jarvan full clearing is also fine because he full clears fine and he scales well as well. Like you scale into mostly like a frontline. You're not a carry scaler, but like you scale into like a frontline kind of champion, which is still good. So you don't fall off like an Elise or anything like that. Yeah, you definitely chose a good champion, I would say. Like Jarvan. They didn't nerfed him, but yeah,
it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
So, it kind of looked pretty bad though.
Yeah. So you said you start red. I'm guessing just because you like red buff. Is that right?
Well, yeah, I would say both game. So like, I'm not actually like I would say like bound to a side start or whatever. Like I definitely have started blue before.
But you generally like red. I remember you said that, right?
Yeah, I generally like red. So, especially because, so like obviously, like if I'm on blue side, right? Then
Yeah.
a lot of the games that I want to path bot, then I
Yeah.
will start blue.
Okay, yeah.
And then the thing is on the red side, because I want to path bot, I like the red start more on the red side because it's like then I have red buff, you know.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah. That's correct. I agree with you. Yeah, red buffs generally ideal to start, but like like you said, sometimes you will start blue. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so like on this side, I'll start get the top leash first most of the time. Most of the time, I don't really do leashless on Jarvan, but it's like possible. I don't.
It's
really.
possible.
But yeah, I don't really like it. Most of the time, I ask for help.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, actually, mostly sometimes I do on red side. I'll do leashless red start a lot.
Is it because your top laner won't leash you, or you don't?
They won't leash me.
Okay,
so
yeah, you don't have a choice.
I don't really mind.
Yeah,
it's not like too unhealthy.
Yeah, you don't have a choice in those cases. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. The only thing we didn't talk about, I guess, is the jungle matchup. Actually, so
I don't really know this jungle matchup too well, but I mean, I just know in general how Bel'Veth works as like she's like a super hard farming objective based jungler.
That's a misconception. Like that's part of her, but she's also actually quite good early game as well.
Okay, yeah, I kind of spoiler. I get stomped by her in a little bit.
Okay, I don't know, but yeah, she's actually good early. So she's kind of crazy. She's like, I guess she's kind of like you, Jarvan. Like she's good early and she's good late, So like, she's not just this weak scaling full clearing jungler. Her ganks are actually pretty good. Because she has 4 dashes. But only 2 of them go in like the direction she wants usually. So, but still, think of 2 dashes. That's a lot. 2 dashes, and then she knocks up, and then if she lands the knock up, that refreshes one of her dashes. So technically, she could have 3 dashes and a knock up. And not only that, she has 2 dashes back to her base or whatever that 2 dashes in, 2 dashes out. So not only can she go really aggressive during the gank, if you even try to counter gank her, she'll just be like, oh sorry, never mind. She just dashes back away to her side of the map. So quite strong. Like her ganks are pretty strong because not many laners can deal with 2 dashes, like running at them 2 dashes and then a ranged knock up and then a 3rd dash. So not bad. Also, she's decent at 1v1s. Like actually, she's supposed to be really good at 1v1s. She beats you. It depends on your EQ, but she beats you in a lot of cases in 1v1s. So
I learned that one, man.
Yeah. So she's good at, think about it. She's good at 1v1s. She's decent ganks. She scales really well. She's kind of like one of the basically she just got buffed last patch or this patch, I think. So like she's kind of the OP jungler in my opinion. Yeah, I don't really see too much weaknesses for her. She's also flexible like Jarvan. She only needs level 2, ideally 3 though. She cares more about 3 than you. Okay, yeah, I actually thought this might happen. So, the thing we didn't talk about was level 1s. You need to think about this every game because things like this, and things like this, they could invade you, but you also need to think about, maybe you have the better level 1 sometimes, and you should invade them. But since you're playing Jarvan, you usually don't have the better level 1. Jarvan's level 1 is garbage. But this here, you got to check the game again. So you got to check for level 1. So you check by just look at the matchups, like Kayn versus Nautilus. Who's better level 1? Nautilus, right? With all that, his hook, whatever he gets, plus his passive is better than Kayn. Then you look at Jarvan, Bel'Veth. Who's better? Bel'Veth. Bel'Veth gets her 4 dashes. You just get a flag, right?
Sylas better too.
Yep, Sylas better
Kai'Sa
too.
Probably even. Lux better.
Oh, I think Caitlyn's better than Kai'Sa. Yeah, Caitlyn's better than Kai'Sa. Just because Caitlyn has that range. Like, what does Kai'Sa do? Yeah. Bot is kind of even. I think Lux is better. I think Lux has just longer range too, and it's non-conditional. Like, Bard needs to hit 2 champions, or he needs to hit the wall with his Q. Lux just needs to hit like anything, and she'll get the root. So they beat you in 4 out of 5 rolls. So not obvious, but like they should invade you basically. And so with that knowledge, you need to think about how to defend. I mean, it looks like they didn't really do much. They might have left a ward. I don't know if they did, but so and this would be a great game where I would have warded bot side with your ward. Like, you remember what I said? because they could invade. They're invading you through the most obvious way. Sometimes they'll go through the tri-brush. So I would have gone this
It would have
side.
been a double impact ward.
Yeah.
It looks like our guys got it.
Yeah, but it's a little late. Like, you want to do it before they even have a chance to invade you. And then they might have warded that before you. You have to ward it early, so you see when they ward it. Yeah. But I'd say there's a good chance they know you're starting red, but there's also a good chance bot tri-brush is not warded, so you could consider the bot gank in this game. Yeah. One thing you need to worry about is the cheese path. I said is sometimes Bel'Veth starts Raptors, and then she can go to like your blue buff or something after that. Like her Raptors, your blue, your Gromp, like something like that.
Yeah, it does seem like she started. I mean, that's kind of cheating, but she
we cheated. So I'd say you need to consider that because when they invaded you, they left early. So they left early enough that she could go anywhere. Right? She could go to her red buff. She could go to her blue. You don't actually.
I would say like here is where I started to look.
Okay.
I looked mid and I saw there's maybe something here, but
yeah, I agree with you. I mean, like it's pushing towards you ever so slightly. But there's a good chance that the river bush is warded, the bot river. So because you didn't ward the bot river bush early enough, or you didn't even ward it, your team. So I agree with you. Just keep going here. Yeah.
And then here is where I looked mid because I'm finishing my Raptors.
Yep. And it looks
I looked mid and I saw
nothing. Yeah.
I'm always in these lanes also. I'm pretty aware that if it were like in the middle of the lane here,
yeah.
Silas, if he were to go in with his E, he doesn't have anything to go out. So
you're looking for his E, right? You're seeing if he's
If he wanted to trade in the mid lane, then he would E in, do something. And so I knew if the wave was like here or even slightly closer, I would have maybe.
Yeah. So right now I would be looking at top side 2. So let's look at top. Yeah. So you're looking at top because 2 reasons really. But the main reason is you cleared 3 camps, right?
Yeah.
That's about the same time that Bel'Veth will clear 3 camps. And what can Bel'Veth do after 3 camps? She's her full kit, so she's ready to gank. And then look at your bot lane. Oh, like you did. You looked at bot lane. Actually, she
saw nothing. Then I saw her here, and then when I saw her, I just figured, since the Kane actually got the kill, I just figured I was going to run up there. I did some weird pathing. Like the camera messed up my pathing, but I was fine.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I respect your I mean he's your duo, right? Oh no, Bard's your duo, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Bard's my duo.
Okay. That's a good I respect it.
So you think it's probably fine, right? I mean, either way, it didn't look like Kane was going to die.
Yeah, that one is a judgment call. Like, I wasn't because I had to look. It's a judgment call to see if you're needed there. I think it was good. Because when you're at Wolves, it's when you're at Wolves, right? Go back to Wolves. Okay. Okay, that's a judgment. So let's look. I mean, I think he's fine in most cases just because he's full HP. He's got the minions. I wouldn't have gone. I'll be honest. I wouldn't have gone. Unless I would. Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't have gone. I don't think I would have. But it works out for you not because of Bel'Veth, but it's because you killed Nautilus later. That makes sense.
It's because Nautilus just TP'd in and just ran it down.
Yeah. I mean, and he still had E and everything. There's, I think he kills Bel'Veth, right? Like, yeah, because you have all these minions. Like, Bel'Veth can't do this in all these minions. And then, I kind of like it. I kind of like it because, not because of the Bel'Veth. I kind of like it because of the Nautilus. If you were, well, okay. I would have predicted a different outcome, but I'm not perfect either. So I would have predicted that Kane is. I didn't think Kane would actually kill Bel'Veth. I would have predicted that Kane is fine though. I didn't think he would die. I thought he's full HP. He's got all those minions. Bel'Veth's not going to fight him there. Bel'Veth's going to give up on like the gank once Kane goes into the minions. But the way that it played out is totally different. Kane ran through the wall top side, and then he ran back to the minions, and then he killed Bel'Veth. It didn't work out how I expected it. But my thinking was Kane is fine, so let me keep firing my camps. But that's I don't want to. I think my thinking is correct, but I don't want to like trash on your thinking because you got the kill on Nautilus. After.
It's probably just luck too.
But I think my thinking is correct. I think because Bel'Veth misplayed that. Like Bel'Veth's supposed to leave that. So if Bel'Veth gives up on that play, Kane would come back, and then Nautilus would not be so aggressive anymore, right? And then there's like not really. I mean, there could be a gank, but.
Do you agree with this?
How long did you stay here? I was talking, so I don't. What was happening here? Why were you here this whole time?
I just figured. So my thinking was.
Oh, you pushed the wave and then you cleared your camps and then you came back top.
Yeah. Just did this and then I saw crab up. I also saw Bel'Veth bottom. I saw him later. He dies.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I just thought here, the wave is pushing out towards Arcane.
Yeah, I like it.
And I'm pretty sure Nod didn't have flash.
No, I like it. It's perfect timing too, because by the time you're here, like Kane's already. You're not here for that long, actually. So yeah, no, I like it. So this is kind of what we were talking about, but for bot side, right? You're investing in bot this time. And the time that when you invest time, later in the game, it's not as valuable as early in the game. So this doesn't really cost you that much. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think you would walk up like that,
but see, because
good.
Okay, yeah, you're fair. You're fine.
And here I just have enough for whip, so I just back.
Yep. Plus, your bot camps are more valuable than the top camps, right? Because it's the second spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can speed it up too.
Yep.
So here, here I see Bel'Veth, so I'm pretty sure I just run straight bot.
Yeah. She came again after dying.
Thought maybe they were going to dive this, but
you didn't even check the bush. Like Bel'Veth could have been there, right?
Oh yeah.
I guess you wanted to do this fast with Bard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we're duo, so I guess it's a little cheating.
Okay. Yeah, nice.
Here, I don't know. Maybe this is like a micro play mistake, but Bel'Veth actually gets 2 here.
But it's not really up to you. I don't think you can replay it. Let me see what you could do. I don't think it's up to you. Like, what can you click on your cooldowns? Okay. I mean, it's not really up to you. Like, she just ignores you, right? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I tried to EQ her E because I knew. Oh, I don't know if it actually cancels it.
Wait, let me think. I remember it doesn't cancel. Like, I forgot how exactly it works. It doesn't like CC doesn't cancel her damage reduction. Yeah.
But yeah, here a little unlucky, and then just push out the wave for them because it's pretty fucked.
Like, go back to before you ganked. Actually, I'm going to before you took the portal. Okay. Okay. We saw Bel'Veth leave. Oh, okay.
I did not.
Oh no, yeah. So you didn't need to check bush because we saw her leave. Actually, I missed that part.
But that's definitely not why I thought about it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I did flash the Lux Q there. Pretty chill. But yeah, then I don't know. Here, like,
you can't do anything. Well, no, you just can't do anything. She's ignoring you. I mean, which she can, right? So.
Did auto minion though, unlucky. Maybe that was the difference.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah,
and you can't afford to EQ really when she has her Qs up. She easily dodges it. So
yeah. So here I thought I was like really far ahead of the Bel'Veth, but spoiler alert, she kind of just.
But let me tell you why you're not really. Or I mean, you could just see, right? You could cheat, right? Press X. Oh, you are. Well, 600. I don't know if 600 some.
Well, 600 unspent, which is fair. Yeah, and then here. Okay, here's the hint. Oh my god. Nope. Whoops.
Well, slow it down. Oh, it's a one time. Yeah, now you notice that she's just stronger than you, right? Go back. Why are you here again? You took Scuttle?
I just wanted crab. I'd smite up, and then the crab did the little dashy away from me. So
yeah, I don't blame you for trying this because it is a 2v1, right?
yeah. And I was like, I was like kind of lost because, you know, obviously I was thinking like I could EQ smite the crab, but then, you know, she's gonna pummel me. And Bart's helping me, but like he's not doing anything really just because
he already used his Q right here. Like it's not gonna stun anything.
Yeah, he doesn't have any abilities up, so he's kind of like just doing like 50 a second or something. So it's like not that much.
And then remember what I told you, Velvet is she's good at 1v1s. Jarvan's not a 1v1er, right? Jarvan is a team fighter. Like he likes team fights. So here and her kit kind of already counters you, as you saw in the bot gank, right? She just you can't EQ her when she has all those Q charges, and then when you're about to EQ her, she just E's you, right? So it doesn't even matter. So
would you have assessed this and just given up the crab?
Yeah, if it's Bel'Veth, just because you have to know Bel'Veth beats Jarvan in most cases. If you had a higher damage champion, maybe like Caitlyn, even Caitlyn, I don't know. If you maybe though, if you no, even Caitlyn, I don't think so. I think you need damage. I mean, you probably noticed this in all your games, like especially in late game. Jarvan like kind of falls off damage wise, unless you're like ahead and one shotting people. But other than that, you need like DPS behind you. Usually, and I know the game's really early right now. You're only level 5, 4. Did you just get 5? I think you just.
Yeah, I think 5 off the Raptors. I think.
Yeah. You just don't really beat her. I would if I had Ari, maybe look at mid. What's happening mid? You had Prio. I guess she didn't care about you though. I would have danced Bel'Veth, like dance with her, and then call like Ari or Caitlyn because you have double Prio here. This is kind of ridiculous if you think about it. But with just you and Bard, no. I mean, as you can see, especially when Bard doesn't land. Like, how are you gonna land anything? She doesn't care about any of you guys. Actually, it's kind of close. If she missed that W, I think maybe you get a better chance. Because that W gave her the extra dash to actually finish you. I think. So close. I don't blame you.
But here it's like still a game, right?
It's still what?
Like, it's still like a game, right? Like either team can win. You think?
Yeah, why would you think it's over right now?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like at this point, in my mind, I'm already preparing worst case scenario. Like, oh man, Bel'Veth got my shutdown. She got a double kill bot lane out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like,
but
I feel like she's gonna snowball out of control.
Probably, but you have a Fed Kane. You're doing okay. Bot and mid are kind of tied. Both sides. I mean, like, it's exactly how opposite, right? Ari's winning in CS, but Kai'Sa's winning in CS. Like.
No, I see it.
You guys are fine down there. You have Kane. Yeah. It's. I mean, is he red? Oh, he's going blue. Wait, no, he'll probably go red.
Blue. I was kind of troll, but
he's going blue. Oh.
He's going blue. I personally would have won red, but like whatever.
Okay. Yeah. If he's going blue, then I think it's over. If you want to, I mean, but did you know he was going blue? I mean, I don't.
No, but I played Kane, so I just guessed because like. He pretty much has form here, and he's not taking it. So I figured he doesn't.
And he went first strike against Nautilus. So
yeah, he didn't go Conqueror, so I figured it's just like doomed.
Yeah, I'm not. But if you had Red Kane, I would feel like you guys have a good chance. Still, I mean, if you look at the gold, you guys are, slightly ahead. But yeah. And let's see, your ult is really good against at least 3 of them. Even for Bel'Veth can only get out with her ult if she has ult. So pretty good. And Kane likes to fight in your ult, and Caitlyn Bard too. Right, your ult sets up Bard stun, so pretty good synergy for like some skirmishes. I would say, yeah, not over. Obviously depressed.
What would you do? You try to fight her here, probably.
Fighter here.
Bard? I just reset, right?
Yeah. Where's Bard? Yeah, I probably would, but I probably would, but you're not going to get anything. Silas is missing, right? I wasn't tracking. I guess we cheat here. He's no man. I wasn't tracking Silas, but I would think where's Silas? I'm guessing he's just recalling, actually. But if Silas is here, it's kind of bad. There's a blast cone there, so you don't kill her. And if she reacts fast enough, she just dodges your EQ, right? Like you think about it, if you EQ her, what okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now this
I totally forgot this happened in the
this
game.
looks better. This looks better. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That looks better. So I don't like it because of the blast cone. Anyways, like if you happen to hit her, which I don't think you're gonna hit her anyways, she'll just blast cone away afterwards. Otherwise, she'll just beat you. Yeah, unless Bard lands his Q, which Bard was kind of low, so I don't know if Bard wanted to do that. And then I didn't really know what Silas was, but I mean, I wasn't paying attention, to be fair. So if you were paying attention, you probably, if you were paying attention to mid, you probably could guess that Silas was like recalling because he was low on mana.
I think that's why I didn't go do the EQ right away.
Yeah, like yeah,
because I didn't know where Silas was, and then I figured if she takes the last plant over, then it's like doomed. Then she kind of just inted.
Yeah, it was she because your Bard and Caitlyn were, and she's on. They all saw, everyone saw her. So usually better to be patient against Bel'Veth with Jarvan because your EQ is still telegraphed, but she has so many tools to like counter your EQ. So yeah. And then, like I said, you don't actually beat her 1v1 in most cases. So ideally, you have people around you to damage her, right? Because you can out tank a Bel'Veth. Like if you ult Bel'Veth and you two are in there, and you both have your team, you usually live longer than her. So she does have her E, but I'd say you can out tank her because I mean she's not going to.
So here, I don't know what I do, but like looking back, hindsight wise, one thing I feel like I really want to do now.
So I actually forgot what happened. Like when did Bel'Veth? Is she still dead or is she spawned now?
I think she just spawned.
She just spawned.
But I think what I'm thinking now of what I want to do, like hindsight-wise, I'm just seeing if you agree.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just take Krugs and probably hit 6 here, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But I mean, let's look bot though. Let's look bot. What's happening there?
Arcane.
Wait, why do you have 3 people? Who is that? Ari or?
That's Kane. That's Kane. He just. I think he just got. Oh no, he didn't have form yet. He's just trying to get ranged form faster.
Okay. Well, this. Yeah, I like Krugs, but after Krugs, you might want to. It depends how this plays. So this might be a dragon angle because you have Kane. So it depends. It obviously depends what happens here. You need to look at what's happening. I think Kane's dead.
6. Do I get 6 off those 2 tiny ones? Oh my god.
What happened? Did you skip the tiny ones?
I think I missed 2 tiny ones.
Wait, go back. 6 off Did you really?
Oh man. Okay. I think it's because I saw the Silas running down, so I was kind of worried. I must just lost track.
You do? Okay. That's a big mistake, yeah.
Okay, well, good thing I
but
that one out.
We gotta notice that Kane's kind of just screwed here, so... yeah. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I don't know. Here, okay, not to flame my duo, but I told him that we can't do the drag here, and he was like, let's do it.
Yeah. I forgot. Did you guys kill anyone bot lane? When Kane came?
We killed Kaisa.
But she's already back up now, right?
Yeah, I think she's probably still in base here, though.
Because you guys are out for too long, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the Kaisa kill is good, and then after that, it's all bad, really. So I guess, honestly, not getting 6 didn't even matter. I don't think your 6 would have done anything anyways.
Because we should have still just left the drag, probably.
Yeah.
So here, after this, what would you do? Here, I'm thinking in my head, maybe I can go do Rift.
Rift is like a wish. Rift is a wish, but I think they're fast enough to actually finish Dragon and run straight to Rift and your Ari's dead. So here, I'm just... Wait, let me look. Where's your team? Are you the only one on the map? You're the only one. You have Kane.
He's not really even a champion yet, though.
Yeah, here I think I just do blue because in low elo I would do the Rift, but in this elo I think I just do blue because once they finish that they just run straight. You don't have enough time to actually do this before if they want to. It depends on what they want to do though. So like you could skill check them. Like this is a skill check right now. Like so yeah, when you do this right. You check, are they coming to stop you? Because they have other stuff, right? There's a crab, there's some bot camps. She's actually here.
Seeing this and getting really tilted. Because then right here, I just obviously knew when I saw Belle mid, right? I just saw she just took my entire top side. So
I'm kind of surprised you here. Well, it looks like did Nautilus, at least, I don't know the announcement if it's accurate, but it looked like it only showed Nautilus taking it. It's supposed to show like which champions took it usually. I guess I had a Lord too. So I would think Belvet's actually bot right now, and the fact that she's top, just like yeah, she was doing something else. But yeah, this is so your skill check. This is skill check. Like they could stop you, and then here, yeah, now they can stop you. So you have to kind of give it up. And yeah, you're just noticing how you don't really do anything to Belvet. Especially she has, I think that's her ult form right there, so she can dash through your ult too. Yeah.
So here, like I just checked to make sure she actually took all of them, but then
yeah, because you don't really have anything to do right now. You can't.
Yeah, so like here I'm lost, and here I'm lost, and I'm already thinking like.
Well, okay, you check first. Well, you check how much gold you have at least, so if you want to recall it for something. That's a lot of gold.
Probably could recall.
Yeah. So here. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. What do you want to say?
Well, I'm saying here, my mentality, like in game right now, I'm already thinking like I'm pretty sure this game is over because like I feel like
yeah. Well, again, I have the same answer honestly. Like if you have red cane, I think you guys are okay. But I don't know when you know he has blue cane. I mean, he's going like all blue build everything, so it's kind of showing that he's going blue. Did he even get form yet? Where is he?
I think he only has darkened form.
I think he's still.
But in my mind, I didn't know what form he was going. I think I'd probably guess he was blue, but in my mind, like I guess the reason why I wanted to review this VOD is like at this point, I'm already sure it's like doomed. But like,
yeah,
well, we're trying to win. How do I win this game? Like,
I don't think it's doomed, but I'm obviously I'm kind of depressed if I'm you. Yeah, I can feel like so I feel doomed. Yeah, I feel doomed, but
because like I have like a lead.
No, you're Jarvan. Your lead doesn't matter, right? Remember, you're not like a carry.
I don't have a lead against Belvet, but I mean like I'm still strong enough to like duel their bot lane, probably duel Silas a little bit, maybe not.
No, you can't duel Silas, and Kaisa can ult out. Like Lux, yeah, sure, you can kill Lux. Again, you're not a what do you call it? You're not a solo carry champion. Like you're not gonna do things. Like Belvet is kind of like the solo carry champion. It's like so. That's why her being that ahead is why you should be worried. And then you being ahead again, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's good. It doesn't really matter that much. Like you can't do anything with it compared to like Belvet, right? Especially because her kit count is yours. You need like a red cane to come in with you. You go in red cane. The two of you can cause a lot of chaos. And Ari, Caitlyn, Bard, they have a lot of self peel in their kits. So you guys can like cause a lot of chaos on like 2v. What do you call it? Frontline better. You can like kind of frontline better than they can. At least red cane can. You might be dying every time, but you'll die for a good cause. And that's how you can win. But once you tell me it's blue cane, then I'm kind of give up. Yeah, if that makes sense.
But like, it's still like, what's your game plan?
Okay, well, I'm still trying to win. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's lost.
What's your game plan now, like to try to win?
Okay, well, I mean, it goes time by time. I don't think that long term. If you think I do, I don't think that long term. So right, like I said, I would check my gold. Right, you had a lot of gold. I think you had enough for Gold Drinker and something. So I don't. Okay.
Do it here.
I believe they were just here, so I don't think I would do this. But it looks like you guys are winning mid. What happened mid? Belvet was just here, right? Yeah. Yeah. So that's why. Okay, that makes sense.
I think I just see her Krugs up. So I just kind of rage take him.
No, well, the Krugs is good. The Rift would be another skill check because you have to look at mid lane. Who do you have control there? Not really. And then Nautilus would probably stop you. If he's good, Nautilus should stop you on the Rift, so you shouldn't really be able to take it. So you're checking them again. It kind of works because it might have worked actually if you did it because it looks like he never actually came to check it. Yeah. So you could, instead of the Krugs, you could have skill checked him there. But I like the Krugs better because I don't like to play. Like I like to skill check if it doesn't cost me anything, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
but it costs if you did that skill check, it would have cost you the Krugs. So that's kind of why I prefer the Krugs. But it also depends how desperate you are. If you're really desperate, then you go for more skill checks than necessary. Yeah.
So here you path bot, right?
Let's see. Your bard's dead. Well, look at Kate. Like, what? You have ult. Probably. I'm looking mid just because he's low, but I think he's gonna recall. No, he's gonna recall that. Look bot again. Yeah, but they have flashes, so that's not gonna work. If you, I don't know if you're checking the sums, but they have flashes, so you just hear.
I normally just assume they're up unless my laner tells me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not. None of the options are really looking good for you right now. I guess that's probably why you're feeling like hopeless. Because right now it's kind of looking hopeless. You can't go top because they have control there, and Belvet's probably going to be top going for the Rift. You could go mid, but all you would do is catch a wave. So this is kind of like your best option. You can maybe get some flashes. You have your ult, right? Or no, you don't have your ult. You used it on Belvet, right? Oh, no, you do. Okay, I actually didn't see your Bard, or you had someone came here really fast. Bard, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he just respawned.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
He respawned and he has like two boots probably.
Okay, yeah. This is the only play you can make if you think about it. Yep, so that's good.
I think my ulti just comes up for this fight. Okay. It's just sharp.
And you not only do you kill him, you got their flash. This is huge.
Don't Kaiser kill though.
Oh, okay. Still, well, 1-for-1, but I mean, because the thing is, you have no other play right now. Like, so I understand why you're feeling hopeless right now. You don't have any other plays right now, so yeah. So, you do what you can.
I think she dies, if I had to guess. Here you do crab instead of go mid, or go mid?
No, I do crab.
Okay.
You think about what can you do in the fights. Remember, you're kind of countered by Belvet, and if you go in the fight, you want like your backline to be doing damage for you. So think about can you lock them down enough for your Ahri to kill them? And I think the answer is no. Silas and Belvet, like, they're way too mobile for that, and they're kind of tanky for the damage that they do. So not really, no.
Yeah, so here I don't know. Even though we kind of win this fight-ish, I just think it's so doomed. But
yeah, well, I mean, like I said, I agree because you have to think. Okay, well, now the game. Oh wait, it's only 13 minutes. Okay,
yeah.
It's still kind of early, but getting to the late parts. So, you actually should feel happier about later parts because that's where you shine more compared to Belvet. Like, you're the team fighting champion, so yeah, it's feeling bad, but you got some hope if you win some team fights, which again you can.
Ooh, how about this? Sorry. Here, you back here, or you do the top side? Let me see how much gold I have.
How much gold do you have?
1,200. I think I have enough for some small.
What do you build?
I was trying to use that for a dragon. Maybe.
Yeah, what's the dragon? The dragon is 20 seconds. So yeah, you have to recall here if you want to do dragon. But do you want to do dragon? That's another question. Look at where your team is.
So do you think here it's like, given that my team, I think
I don't. It looks
the future or anything, but it kind of just looks like we have no chance of getting the dragon.
No, man, I like taking dragons, especially as Jarvan, right? Because any objective is good for you because you want to force team fights. So if you go to dragon, there'll be a team fight usually. I mean, or they'll give it to you, right? Either way, it's good for you. So I like dragons. The problem here is look at where your team doesn't look like they're interested. They don't really look interested.
So maybe just continue clearing top.
Go to the top side. Yeah, I probably would have done that. But honestly, they have time. Like, wait, can you pause it again? I think they have 20 seconds. They just don't look interested. So normally I would have this is like maybe a minute or 30 seconds before. If you go back, let's go back to like 30 seconds. What was happening? What, did you guys fight or you kill?
We fought and we killed a couple people. And
that was the bot lane gank, right? And then
the bot lane gank, and then Belveth kind of inted a little bit over here.
Oh, okay. So that's when you guys have to reset dragon. But it's because you guys didn't do that basically. How much time? It's still right now. It's still a minute before dragon. Now it's reset dragon. So Yeah,
Or do I reset
you're
it?
not supposed to do these. Reset dragon right now. Everyone. Except maybe Ari. I don't know what Ari's doing. Is she getting plates? That's okay. What's Caitlyn doing? I see her.
Do you think I should reset dragon here, even if I don't have that much money?
Well, what are you gonna buy anyways? What are you gonna do with these camps? If you're gonna fight the dragon. See, if let's look at Caitlyn again. Can I look at Caitlyn again? She looks okay. You have to. I mean, because you have to. You kind of have to communicate with your team a little bit. I know it's solo queue, but you have to. You have to decide. Do you want this dragon or not? And look. Okay, let's think about it.
It is in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, you have a strong Caitlyn. I would pick dragon, and that's I don't know how much gold your teammates have. I mean, you can cheat here, but in the real game, you actually can. There's no way for you to tell, right? They have to kind of tell you how much gold they have, or if they need more gold or something. But I would spam ping dragon, or when you ping dragon, it tells the timer especially 1 minute. That's usually when you want to. Sometimes even earlier. It depends on. 1 minute's good enough for early game. You want to be there. You want to recall and be ready for the dragon early. So. Because you're farming these and these Kane's going top. Kane understandably goes top, I guess. You could give up that for dragon. I'd say that's worth it. So because you guys are making these plays, you guys decided to go for the Nautilus. You guys sent 3 people for Nautilus. You just can't do this dragon. So then in this case, just farm top. Right, so you asked me what would you do. In this case, just farm top. But realistically, 1 minute before the dragon, you should ping it and fight it because Caitlyn is fed, kind of. She's down 30 CS actually. Caitlyn is kind of fed. She's pretty decent at dealing with Bel'Veth. And then you are fed, remember? So you can kind of frontline, and then you would fight. Do you
think this was really bad then? I was thinking maybe if Kai'Sa walked up and did something stupid, I could kill her, and then we could 3v3 the dragon.
You can't 3v3 with 3v3. Who's 3? Oh, Bard.
Probably not. I mean, I guess here. Anything.
Generally speaking, if your team is doing dragon, you don't push your lane. I'm talking in terms of Kai'Sa's point of view, right? So generally speaking, she shouldn't be playing aggressive, right? Her team's doing the dragon, so what you're doing there is kind of skill checking her. Is she respecting that? You're giving up the dragon, so you might be looking to gank her. I think it's okay if you want to skill check her, but most of the time, it does cost you things, right? Like your time.
Yeah.
To be farming those top camps, possibly taking Bel'Veth's top camps. I mean, here we know they're down, but you might not actually know if they're up or not. Or you could back up Kane for something. Maybe Nautilus. I think Nautilus died. Nautilus and Kane died, I believe. So maybe Nautilus would have gone back top, and you could have done something up there. But instead, you skill check Kai'Sa bot and then get nothing for it. So you can see what sometimes skill check does cost you things. Yeah. I'll say me personally, I would not have skill checked her just because I respect her. I mean, if it's what's this Plat 3? Did you have ult? You had ult or no?
I think I did. Maybe not. I can't tell.
I think it's okay. That's an okay skill check. It's okay. Sorry, it's okay because how desperate you are. See, the more desperate you are, the more willing you need to be able to do these kind of risks. The risk, it doesn't really cost you too much. You can still farm these top camps, so I think it's okay. But it's a low percentage play because if Kai'Sa's any good, she should respect. She shouldn't be going in. I don't even think Kai'Sa beats Caitlyn 1v1, so there's not really any reason for Kai'Sa to go into Caitlyn or do anything really aggressive, anyways. So yeah.
Yeah.
But again, at the same time, it doesn't really cost you much. You can still get these top camps, so I think it's okay. It's kind of it doesn't really matter this kind of play. I would say it doesn't really matter.
So here, I see the gank on the way to my top camps.
Yeah.
I think I should go in here.
I don't think you should go in, but you should show yourself.
Whoops. I do die here.
Okay.
I guess I was just kind of.
So like I was saying, I don't think you should go in, but you should definitely show yourself, to get them off the Ahri. Because remember, you noticed I every time you ask me should I fight this? The answer is usually no when it involves Bel'Veth and Silas. Just because you don't really do too well into those champions. It's knowing which champions you do well into. So it's like, remember if you talk about Kai'Sa and Lux, I'm more willing to answer yes because you do good into those champions. And then similarly with Nautilus, most likely yes, but ideally you have a red Kayn backing you up with the blue Kayn. I think it would take you guys a long time to actually kill Nautilus. So only go there if you have nothing else to do. Like remember when they were taking Dragon. Yeah. When they were taking Dragon, I was saying, yeah, you could maybe go top, maybe Nautilus will show up, and then you can kill him there. Because no one will be top other than Kayn and Nautilus. Everyone was doing Dragon. So those are the situations where you could take Nautilus. But generally speaking, it's not worth your time for that either. So, yeah. Now it's 16 minutes in the game. Usually like 15 plus, that's when the game changes. So you're playing more for... it depends on the comps, but it's like team fights, objectives, or possibly split pushing, things like that. Again, as Jarvan, you're looking for team fights. You're looking for team fights if possible. That's why I wanted you guys to set up for the Dragon. You have Caitlyn, right? He's just traps. Jarvan's pretty good at team fighting. Ahri Bard, good at picks. Caitlyn was kind of ahead because she's actually ahead. Even if she's not, I don't actually know who has more gold, Caitlyn or Kai'Sa. But because Kai'Sa's going like a scaling kind of build, she went Cole plus the unfinished Manamune, right? Well, she's actually kind of weak right now, Kai'Sa. She will get strong later, but right now she's actually kind of weak. So you need to abuse the Caitlyn's strength that she's strong right now. So definitely would have played. No, I'm not saying that definitely, but I'm leaning more towards I would have wanted to prepare for that Fire Dragon. A minute. You're too slow later, but like a minute. You had time. All of you had time to reset if you guys wanted to. I think
a lot of it. To be honest, a lot of it is like, I bet a lot of my teammates are just looking at me.
What do you mean looking at you? Like, to make the call?
I'm the jungler, and if I'm not preparing for it, they're not going to prepare for it.
Yeah. Especially in the lower elos. Higher elos, sometimes laners call it. But in the lower elos especially, like, you got to make the call. Like, so I'm saying, like, I didn't see you. That's why I asked you.
No, I agree. I'm saying, I'm agreeing. I'm like, if I had prepared for it, I think we could have, because it's like the only reason the laners looked like they were lost is because I wasn't really telling them to.
Yeah. That's why I asked you. Like, do you even want to do the Dragon? And then you didn't really give me an answer, so I had to.
I did, but I guess I just half-assed it by getting really greedy for my recall.
Yeah, but like okay, you can be greedy with your recall but you still have to ping the Dragon early. Not all five of you don't have to recall at the same time. I mean, it's ideal for all five of you to do that, but in many cases, like someone needs, like maybe Caitlyn just needed one more wave to finish her item or something. I don't know how much gold. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how much gold your laners had, so you have to at least ping the question or like ping the Dragon and see how your teammates respond. Like maybe you ping Dragon, maybe Caitlyn recalls immediately. That's a good sign that she's agreeing with you. Or maybe you ping Dragon and maybe Caitlyn pings she needs 150 gold for rapid fire cannon or something, and then you can adjust your plan, but you gotta like make some calls and see how your teammates respond to your calls, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely should have made more calls.
Yeah.
So you would have fought the second Dragon too, right? Just
the Dragon, I would have done it a minute before, but again, I'm not saying 100%. I'm saying I would have pinged it, and I want to see how my team reacts. I can't control them, but I can see what they do, and then if I see that they're agreeing with me, then let's go set it up. I'm not saying you're gonna win the Dragon either. I'm not actually confident that you win the Dragon, but it's worth a shot because that's as good as it'll get, honestly. Because Bel'Veth's just gonna scale more and more compared to you. You're gonna get like what do you call it? I don't know what you're building. What are you building?
Just like the most default
Cleaver or something?
Just Cleaver.
Yeah. I mean, you'll get stronger, but compared to Bel'Veth, you don't really matter that much. Like you're good as a team fighter. So at the Dragon, that's a team fight, right? And not only you. Remember what I said between Caitlyn and Kai'Sa? Caitlyn's stronger at that point, at least, because Kai'Sa's building like some weird, not weird, but like she's going AP scaling. Unfinished Manamune, like she's not a champion right now compared to Caitlyn. You're good at team fighting. Kane's strong, but he's blue. Again, that's depressing, but you work with what you got. I think the longer the game goes, the more you guys get outscaled. So you want to try right now rather than later. Risk the game. I'm not confident you win the dragon, but it's better to risk it now than to risk it later, if that makes sense. Later, it only gets worse for you. It only gets worse for you because, again, Nautilus gets tankier and tankier. Blue Cane doesn't do anything to tanks. Velvet gets stronger and stronger as a carry. Silas scales way better than Ahri, and Kaisa also scales better than Caitlyn. Right now Kaisa's weak, but like I said, the longer you wait, it just gets worse and worse. So risk it now. Don't risk it later. If you can. And you definitely could have. You definitely could have risked it this dragon, right? We saw you actually had the advantage, right? You killed two of them. You killed Kaisa, Belveth, so you had the advantage in that you could set the dragon. You could recall, you could set up the vision, whatever you wanted. You could set up traps. So you had the setup advantage. And also again, you had the AD carry advantage. So pretty good. I'd say you had I'm throwing numbers out of my ass. I think it's like 60% or so chance that you win that fight. That's pretty good for what's going on right now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. I definitely don't take into as much consideration just like the literal state of the game.
Oh yeah, no, you have to do that. You don't have to do that all the time. You just have to do that for big things like dragons, right, or barons. Those are the main two, really. Like, there's and there's only dragons only come up every so often, and barons too, right? So those are the timers you really need to think about in the mid to late game. Like right now, it's like mid to late game, right? 15 minutes plus. Like, what else are you going to do right now? Like, at this point in the game, farming your camps doesn't mean much. You're not going to push towers randomly, right? So really, the a big focus in these parts of the game is the dragons, are the barons, right? So any fight that happens is usually because of dragon or baron, or because of trying to get vision near the dragon or baron. So those are really things you need to think about. Yeah. Now what? I'm kind of lost because I was talking a lot. So where are we in the game? So they took dragon a while ago, and then.
Oh yeah, I mean stuff's been happening, but nothing of
nothing really.
Just people dying.
Okay, yeah. So actually,
that was just unlucky by my friend. I think some funky walls going on in Bard land.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. Oh. I think
kind of got like the overhang of something of a wall.
I think it got canceled. I didn't know.
No. There's because Bard only goes through one wall.
Oh,
you see, there's like a bump here. I think he hit the pixel bump.
Oh, I see. That's unfortunate. Oh,
I remember he was really mad about this.
I didn't even know that was possible. I'll be honest.
Well, the more you play Bard, the more it happens, I guess.
Yeah.
Nothing of importance happening, but I'm obviously depressed.
No, yeah. Well, actually, I usually stop the review after like 15 or 20 minutes. Because like the jungle game's kind of over, like I said, right? You're not farming camps anymore. Your path doesn't matter anymore. This is just late game. Like regardless if you're a jungler or not, you kind of play similarly to anyone else. It depends on your champion, obviously, what you're supposed to do. But like I said, So did you want to say something?
No, I just said that makes sense.
Oh, okay, yeah. So like you think about right now in this at like 15 minutes or so, 15 to 20. That's when you need to think about how do you win this game. So you need to, early game you're thinking about, okay, who do I gank? Which camps do I start? Should I do these dragons or heralds? Small things, these early game things. Late game is thinking about, okay, how do I actually win? How do you actually win? So it depends on how the game's going, right? Like we already kind of talked about it. How do you win? Ideally, it's your team fighting with a red cane. Okay, well now we see you have blue canes, so that doesn't look too good. You think about, do you even want to team fight anymore? Like Jarvan likes to team fight, yes, but your comp is low damage now. Like Caitlyn Ahri, not that much damage. Especially Everfrost Ahri and Gale Force Caitlyn. Like those are the what do you call it? Lower damage builds. Like Ahri can go like Ludens or Caitlyn could go Kraken. Like those are more higher damage. So your damage is kind of lacking. I mean, you have Blue Cane, which can one-shot maybe Lux or Kaisa, right? That he's not going to do anything to the other three, usually.
Except for the fact that Kaisa's higher level than Arcane now.
Kaisa's higher level than Kayn? Oh, wow. Okay. Kane has 79 CS, so you know, actually you have a low too. Actually,
Well, I'm getting gapped as well, you know.
you guys are all quite low, except I guess I guess Ari and Kaiser are just farming like monsters right now. But yeah, basically your comp is low damage. Their comp is higher damage. To be fair, Silas went Everfrost as well, but their comp is higher damage. I don't like the team fights anymore because of the Red Cane problem. Like if you had Red Cane, I like it better. So I feel like I said, I feel outscaled as your team. I feel outscaled. So let me think. So then when you feel outscaled and if you lose the team fight, win con, then you have to think about other win cons, such as usually just split pushing. So think about split pushing in this game. Split pushing in this game looks decent actually. So you would have Kayn, Ahri in side lanes, Caitlyn, Bard in the middle, and you kind of do your thing, rotating around, trying to get some vision, spot people out. You have your flag, you're tanky, you can eat some punishment, and if the enemy ever oversteps on one of the 3 lanes, you kind of try to influence that. But yeah, I agree with you. It's not looking good right now. I'm go back to what I said. Definitely you want to fight the dragon, and if you won that dragon fight, this game looks better, but still hard even. So yeah, I understand why you're not feeling good. Yeah, but that's what you need to assess, like in the mid game. Like, okay, how do I win? It's not you, right? You're not gonna carry by yourself. What are you gonna do? You're basically going in to ult some people, ideally Kai'Sa Lux, and then dying for your team, right? That's how I imagine what you kind of do. You're not there to like carry anything. So you need to think about how is my team gonna win this for me? Yeah, and it's either split.
If I want to carry more, does that just mean I have to pick a different champion?
Yeah. Jarvan's not. At least in this game, some games you can be Jarvan can carry, but not in this game because you're countered by like 2 other champs, even 3. Like Kai'Sa can just ult out of your thing, right? Your champ is not good enough to carry in this game, at least, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
you kind of have to assess that. So sometimes you can carry. Jarvan's can. I've seen Jarvan's carry, depending on the game, but not in this game, right? You can already tell from the early game. Bel'Veth already counters you. Like she doesn't care about your kit, right? Yeah.
Do you envision that this game would have gone different if I followed like the level 2 idea?
Yeah. Because what happens with the level 2? If you think about
if I snowballed the bot lane to like an extreme level.
Yeah, because you need damage, right? You're not the damage. Kayn could have been the damage if he was red. Even if he was red, could he? Is that enough? It might be. It's better. Ahri is not going to be the damage. So yeah, it's your Caitlyn, and you get your Caitlyn ahead. You can rotate her. You can use her for all objectives because her traps, right? So, yeah, I think so. But obviously, right? They could have warded it or whatever. Like things could have prevented that. So
I just checked. Just looking at it, they didn't ward it.
They didn't.
No.
Oh, you're cheating here. Yeah. So you could have, but like you said.
And but I'm just thinking. The more I think about it, like just the way that the game actually played out, the fact that like he got like a double kill here, pretty much.
Kayn, yeah.
She wouldn't have actually been able to invade my blue and stuff if I did the level 2.
Yeah, but again, that's a lot of hindsight. But like what I said. Remember what I said? I said Bel'Veth should never have fought Kayn there. So like she's kind of it's her bad. Like the way I look at the game is you shouldn't assume people are gonna be bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's pretty much
because like if you were playing the Bel'Veth, you would just clear my top side for sure for the bot gank.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Especially
if I saw you take the bot, I'm taking all your blue. Yeah. So don't think about how the game actually happened, if that makes sense. You gotta still think about the proper game. But even so, remember when I said even so, sometimes it's worth ganking bot, even if she'll take your stuff. And there's counterplays to that too, right? She takes your stuff. it depends if you were tracking her or not. If you tracked her, you can assume she's taking your stuff, and then you can take her blue side. Like after you gank bot, then you go straight to her blue. Like it really depends how good you are at tracking her as well. If that makes sense. So there's a lot of small things you can do, and if you do it properly, like you have a lot of options in your early pathings. If that makes sense.
Yeah. One thing, like maybe close to like the final something questions, right? But like,
yeah,
one thing that I kind of struggle with when I cross map like this, right? Like, let's say I just cleared all my red camps and then I went bot for their level 2 versus our level 2 and I'm 3, right?
Okay, yeah.
Then obviously I'm thinking like, oh man, I might have to cross map here, especially if I saw Belveth. Like, let's say I saw Belveth top a little bit and then she gave up on the gank, right?
Yeah.
So I know she's going to go to my blue.
Yeah.
The problem that I struggle with is like, let's say if I am facing someone like Belveth, it kind of feels like by the time I take one of her camps, she could probably clear like 2. So if I take 2, then she's already done.
It really depends on the timing. I don't think she clears that much faster than you. Why do you think she clears that much faster than you?
I don't know, because I guess like I don't have an exact read on it, but I just guess that she's a farming champion, right?
But typically early game, like no one's that like the difference isn't that great between junglers. Like unless we're talking extremes like a Karthus jungler or something. But generally speaking, most junglers clear at similar speeds early game. Especially if we're talking about the single target camps. Like it's pretty standardized most of the time. And then even if she takes 2 of your camps for one and you take one of hers. So what? So what's the problem there? That she still doesn't have time to cross all the way over and come to her blue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like she might clear. I don't think she'll clear 2, but like I can see her clearing 3 by the time you clear 2. Yeah, maybe that kind of difference. Yeah, I can see that. But again, who cares? Because what is she going to do after she clears your 3? She doesn't have enough time to walk all the way over and defend your blue. The one thing you do need to worry about though, is her laners, like bot lane and mid lane, right? If they're good, they know you're taking Belveth's camps as well. So you have to, before you actually go to take her blue, you need to check, can I do this? Like will Silas stop me? Will Kaisa and Lux stop me? In a lot of cases, Kaisa and Lux won't stop you because you gank them, so you kind of like they kind of need to go back to their lane in a lot of cases. But there's a good chance like Silas could stop you, so that is something you have to think about. But similarly for you, like similar for the Belveth, she needs to think about will Ahri or Kayn stop her, right? So if you think Belveth is taking your blue buff, you should ping like I usually use like danger ping on my blue buff, or sometimes assist ping. Like I'm trying to tell my Kayn like to help, like you're telling Kayn go stop Belveth, kind of like that, if that makes sense. It works for both teams, right? Like that's how it works.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely will consider doing more of like one side or even just one buff clear on Jarvan.
I don't want to tell you like it's a every game thing, but I just wanted to open your mind. If I give a number to it, let me see how often would I do it if I was playing Jarvan. I would say every game I'm looking at it, but when do I actually do it on Jarvan? It would maybe be like one in 3 to 5 games, something like that. So not
unexpected.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because a lot of times the enemy they do pass the skill test, so it's kind of yeah.
No, I understand that.